from an individual purpose though, because you can't control the masses. So even if that technology like is approved in your area, you do ultimately have to make that choice for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say drones did get legalized, for example. Me, you, most of the
Right.
people we associate with hunt for sport.
Right.
Like we eat the meat and all that stuff
Right.
too, but we hunt for sport. We like the challenge
Yeah.
of it. Like we wouldn't utilize that,
Yeah.
even if it's legal.
We want it to, we want season to last a little bit of time.
Right,
You know,
right.
We like deer hunting.
But at the same time, I wouldn't criticize somebody else for using it
Yeah.
if it's legal.
It's just like you can use you can use a crossbow in Michigan, but you don't.
Right. Right.
Here's something to think about. And this was from I have forward facing sonar on my boat, but Steve had a debate on his podcast, Steve Vernella, about if forward facing sonar is good for fishing or not. It isn't, whatever, you can go watch the episode, but they made a point like that cat's kind of already out of the bag, like that technology, just like cell cameras are, right? And they made the point like, okay, like muskie out in the lakes, that used to be something really hard to catch. Now people are catching 10 of them a day, with forward facing sonar. Going out there, it's real easy to see a muskie. They spin, they're big. You can find them on that forward facing sonar, throw something in front of them, they bite it. But, and they're like, made the point like, okay, so now you used to be able to keep 5 of those fish to eat. Now you can only keep 2 because everybody's getting good at catching them. So you can go out and catch them still, but our utilization of that resource is going to be diminished because, okay, instead of if there's 100 anglers out there, used to, 5% of them would catch a limit. Now 80% are catching a limit. So we're going to have to make that limit smaller. So we're still utilizing that. And I wonder if that's like what hunting will turn into one day with, like live tracking cell cameras. We got drones. You wonder like if that'll happen one day,
I think about this a lot.
Yeah.
I do. And I don't even have a right answer for it.
I don't either. I'm just.
Because like one side of me says if it's legal, which all that stuff is, depending on the state you live in, you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And you should. We talked about what's best for the resource earlier.
Right.
So now you start talking about that equation, right? If you talk about archery, right, you got compound shooters that will knock on the crossbow shooters.
Yeah.
But then the traditional hunters could knock on the compound shooters.
Yeah.
So like it never ends.
Right.
The forward-facing sonar, okay, for fishing. Well, are Vexilars okay?
Yeah.
Or like where do you draw the line in terms
Yeah.
of some technology, but it's too much?
Right.
I mean, when you go ice fishing, and I've done this myself, you drill a hole, put your Vexilar in there, you look, nope, no fish.
Yeah.
Walk, drill another hole. Nope. You just drill 50
Right.
holes.
Which is a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, prior to that, you'd have fished a couple
Yeah.
holes. There ain't no fish in this lake,
Right.
and you leave.
Right.
So, I don't know what the fix is, though.
Let me ask you this. Okay. Let's say in 10 years, cell cameras get so good, they incorporate AI in it. Somehow they can figure out, where that buck is. You get a trail camera picture on the buck. It's like, okay, it's going to go to this bed tonight. I don't know how it would do that,
Right.
but who knows? And the DNR decides like, hey, since we can do that in Michigan, you can only kill 1 buck a year now, because everybody's getting so efficient with this new technology. Would you rather them do that or get rid of the technology and keep it the way it was?
Put me in the spot here. I think you almost have to get rid of the technology.
Yeah.
Because I think people are just going to abuse it if they have it, even if there's laws against it.
Right. Yeah.
Take drones, for example. I know in Michigan you can't fly drones to scout for deer.
Right.
But I know it happens.
Yeah, sure.
So I think if the technology is there, it's going to be abused.
It's like they gave this example on the Meteor podcast I listened to. It's like, you have a herd of elk. There's 100 elk on this mountain, and they usually give away, they need to kill 10% of them, and you got a 10% success rate, so they give away 100 tags so that you get 10 bulls or elk killed. But then all of a sudden, all this technology comes into play. You're allowed to do anything you want. You can put a gun on a drone and go over and shoot them, And then all of a sudden, your success rate jumps up to 90%. So instead of having 100 tags and 100 guys out there, they ended up, just issuing 11 tags or 12 tags, whatever and then you got now you got less opportunity because there's more technology involved.
Yep.
Or do you just make all that stuff illegal or take it away? I don't know.
I think once you legalize it, it's so hard to rein it back in.
Yeah. Yeah. But they do it, Kansas.
With the public land trail cameras?
Yeah. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I think at some point we have to be I hear that argument a lot. Once it's gone, or once it's out there, it's hard to pull back in. It's or just grow a pair of balls and take it out, and you're going to have backlash. So it goes back to your point. What's best for the resource?
But opportunity, that is a big buzzword that gets discussed at the Natural Resource Commissions. They will, when proposals come up, they will talk about lack of opportunity or more opportunity for the public to participate in X activity. Yeah. And I think the point you made is a good one. If we get so efficient that just use the elk one, right? Yeah. It's a great one. You got all these people that are applying that have drawn tags in the past, but now since so many elk are being killed, they're not giving as many tags away. Yeah. Well, now there's lack of opportunity. There is a balance there. I know. This stuff's so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
From an individual purpose, though, because you can't control the masses. Mm-hmm. So even if that technology is approved in your area, you do ultimately have to make that choice for yourself. Yeah. Right. So let's say drones did get legalized, for example. Me, you, most of the people we associate with hunt for sport. Right. We eat the meat and all that stuff too, but we hunt for sport. We like the challenge of it. We wouldn't utilize that. Yeah. Even if it's legal.
We want season to last a little bit of time.
Right. Right.
We like deer hunting.
But at the same time, I wouldn't criticize somebody else for using it if it's legal.
It's just you can use a crossbow in Michigan, but you don't.
Right. Right. Because I like the challenge.
Right. You'd have to. And that's another thing is I think us really hardcore hunters, we probably put some type of a false sense of what's actually going on in the woods. Our cell cameras having a negative effect on deer hunting in Indiana. I don't really have any solid data to tell you it is or isn't, So it's what's actually affecting the deer, what's actually not. You got to decide that because you don't want to, you definitely don't want to over-regulate things either. I don't want people telling me what I can do on my own land,
Are you killing more deer or bigger deer in the last, say, 10 years since trail cameras have gotten so popularized?
I can't really tell you I've ever killed a deer because of a trail camera.
Yeah. But yeah, we brought 12 of them out here. I know.
It's silly, isn't it? It's become that technology has really become almost its own industry.
100%.
It's cool to know what deer are in the area for sure. And I've chased deer because I know that they're there because of trail cameras. But I've also found sheds of deer and chased them or their track or whatever,
This pendulum is starting to sway a bit too. And you've had people on your podcast talking about this that used to run a gazillion trail cameras and they're like cold turkey. Yeah. I'm done, to zero. Yeah. And it does take the excitement out a little bit about it when you're running trail cameras. Yeah. Because I know for me, if I don't have any big bucks on camera, I get a little demotivated to hunt because I'm I haven't got a picture in 2 months of a shooter.
But it also can raise the excitement if you got a big one on trail camera.
Then there's that. But
yeah, you're right.
But the surprise element, when you truly don't know what's out there,
yeah,
you are geeked every time you walk out there because you don't know what's going to come around that corner behind that tree.
yep.
I do still run them, but
me too.
I could see myself going cold turkey
Yeah.
being done with them.
I run less cell cameras than I used to, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My cell camera usage is very limited now. Like, I mean, I think they're a good tool and all that, but I'm not into the guys that have 20 or 30 or more of them. Like, it's not my.
But if we can't point to, because I'm trying to think myself, I just asked you that question. In the last 10 years, do I have any book I can attribute that I've gotten off of trail camera? And I don't think I have either.
Yeah. No, I haven't, for sure. I've had deer on trail camera that I end up killing
Sure.
a year, but like not like actively like, oh, I got a picture of him and I killed him the next day or two.
Correct.
Never's happened to me.
Right.
But yeah, it is what it is. It's still like, even with now that live view thing, I don't know, that could be different, but like, with the delay of getting a text like message, like that deer could be anywhere in 10 minutes, So
there's live feed
trail cameras
now.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Big thing right now. Live feed.
How much battery those go through?
I don't know. I've never used one. About every company's is coming out with it. I think Tacticam just came out with one. And then the other issue is, I mean, these used to be like the wealthy hunters' tools, right? You could, a cell camera was expensive, data plans were expensive. Now we freaking bought a trail camera at Rule King for $29, a cell camera yesterday, right?
The solar charger costs more than the camera.
Yeah, the solar charger for it cost more than the solar charger was $40, camera was $29.97 or whatever it was. And it's like, yeah.
But those are only coming down because there's much more advanced, more expensive stuff coming out.
Yeah,
like these live.
Maybe so. Or just there's so many of these things out there, these companies. It's not worth them to charge $200 for a camera anymore whenever they can charge you $5 a piece on their
data plan.
So why not sell you? It's like a long game. Like, why not sell you, instead of selling you 2 cameras for $400, sell you, 10 of them for $400.
Yep.
And then you're hooked for $5 a month for each one instead of just $5 a month for it. I mean, you do that math, it doesn't take very long to get ahead,
Well, it's kind of like your cell phone.
Yeah.
Every 2 or 3 years, they give you a free cell phone, but you got to commit to that contract for that duration. So they're more than making their money back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would hate to say like that the cell cam industry has boomed the last couple of years, and they're going to have a lot of pull on regulations too. Like, just is what it is.
But as a consumer, competition's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
It does lower the price.
Yeah.
Keeps everybody honest to keep high quality because
and I'm glad that if I want to run 5 cell cameras, I don't have to pay $3,000 for them.
Right. And our wives are happy about that too.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Now lithium batteries.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I used to exclusively run lithium.
Yeah.
I haven't bought lithium since COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so expensive.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, that solar charger you picked up was cheaper than what it would have been if we just bought AA lithium batteries for that camera.
Might have been. I haven't priced lithiums for a while. I mean, probably not, but like that, that's obviously going to last a lot longer.
I bet pretty close.
Yeah. Hopefully, at least that's what we're hoping for. That's what we got a solar panel for, because we're pretty far away to change batteries in a camera.
Yeah.